A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And they give this time to the tailback. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Franks. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
On 2nd and 9, Allen is going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Allen's going to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
49, guys. Mike. Squeeze, double.
On 1st and 10, Franks. And he's got the hook up to Moore. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
49 to Mike. I'm coming for you. You Mike. 49.
From the gun on 3rd down, Franks. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
And he missed it. That was neither far enough. It wasn't even on target. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Watch the shift. Hey, hold. He's crashing.
On play action, Allen. And it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Allen. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Let's go. Mike 56.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Allen throwing complete to Brown. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. John Brown, 63 yards, as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a 1-score deficit. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, let's get that ball.
From the gun, Franks. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Franks. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. It's caught. Smith. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now.
Makes the score Raiders 23, Bills 8.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready. Round. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The Bills on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw, it's Allen. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Allen now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
From the 41, Allen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And an alley to run. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down to the 28-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. John Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
I like his thought process and his ability to move and get downfield. But what I didn't like was the final decision, to go out of bounds. They want to keep the clock moving. Instead, they give the defense an extra timeout.
49, guys. Mike, 49. Rip left. Mike's 49. Mike's 49. Hey, man. Watch the boots.
Off play action. Franks. He's going to rifle run deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I know I'm not giving enough credit to the defenders because that pass was incomplete. But come on, it was A.J. Green. I always expect him to come up with the ball.
Yeah, on those deep routes especially, even on incompletions, it's fun to watch him run those routes.
It certainly is, but he eats up ground, and he usually goes up and gets it.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Franks. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Tight dog. Go.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And here's Allen operating from the gun. Dancing to his... Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Ready, break. Watch 49. Too little, Cupcake. Kill. Ready, go.
They run it again with Williams. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Mike's 49. Just like that. 49. 49 to Mike. 49 to Mike. And go.
Operating from the gun, Franks. And that's caught by Smith. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
From the gun, Franks, flush to his right. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now.
On the ready. Pilot, 64, weak. Watch the curl, watch the curls. Kill. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
61. Matchbox, right. And by 7, let's go. Check. 80 weapon. He's checking. Crash.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Check. Crunch. Race no trap. Switch. Watch twist. Check 52. Echo.
On 4th down, Franks. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, 32 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2.
Let's go, baby. Turn over. Get that ball.
They'll try and run it here. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Hey, dog. 5 wide.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Allen. Caught by Montgomery. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now Allen. And Robinson with a big catch. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it's 3rd and short.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Check back 12.
Now in 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. He completes it to Bryant. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here, as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So 20 seconds remain. It'll come down to this. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the Silver and Black. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the Bills' 41-yard line. Today's final score.
And with this win and an AFC championship, they have reached the most hallowed ground in all of sports.
That means they are the best in their conference. What an incredible feeling for this team to go through the entire season and come out on top and now go to the Super Bowl for the right to be called world champion.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, will see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.